herd leaders for the group.
Right. Well, what I think you need to mention how, besides them being their leaders of the herd,
Hi everybody, I'm Lori. I'm Angie, and we're from Spirit Keeper Equine Sanctuary. We have been running this nonprofit for 5 years now, and we thought that it was very important to show you the first 2 horses that we ever admitted here at Spirit Keeper Equine Sanctuary back in 2014 when we first opened our doors. So this is Mario and Dusty. Let's talk a little bit about Mario first. Mario is a 12-year-old appendix quarter horse gelding who arrived here in 2014 with some issues. He's got some chronic health issues. At the time, those included extremely sore hooves and prolapsed soles, and he required shoes all the time. The problem with that was he had extreme anxiety and nervousness about farrier work, about his hooves being trimmed and shod, and about anybody messing with his feet, to the extent that he had episodes of colic when his feet were getting worked on. He was a really ribby horse, and he was on some special nutrition because at the time it was presumed that he had PSSM, which is polysaccharide storage myopathy. However, that diagnosis was proven to be incorrect when we had our own veterinarian here do some cervical, spine, and back radiographs. We discovered that he has a neurological issue that was causing his symptoms. So he has a spinal cord impingement in his cervical vertebrae that causes him to be neurologic. Once we figured that out and we got his hooves squared away, he started to thrive. We got him on a normal diet that the rest of his herd eats. We got him out with a normal herd of horses. He's in a herd of 9 horses on what is our biggest pasture. And just coincidentally, his best friend is Dusty, who also came in 2014 along with him. They're the herd leaders in their group and they're best friends. So Mario no longer has to wear shoes. He gets his feet trimmed about every 4 or 5 months, which is really a long time, but he wears them off so well that we don't have to trim them more often than that. And as you can see, he's looking fantastic. So although he's only 12 years old, he is not adoptable through a regular rescue because this neurological issue that he has is for life. And so he is going to have to be cared for here for life. His family had to give him up because of some financial issues which caused them to have to move and to downsize their horses. And at the time, their veterinarians recommended that if Mario could not go to a rescue or sanctuary, that he be euthanized because of his long-term care needs. And then this over here is Dusty. And Dusty is a 24-year-old quarter horse mare who was loved very, very much by her family. They got her when she was 4 years old, and she was the daughter's horse. The daughter had her all growing up through junior high and high school, took her to college with her. The family fell into hard times, and they went through a divorce situation, bankruptcy, a foreclosure on their home, and had to rehome their horses. They successfully worked very hard on their own to rehome the rest of their horses, but were unable to rehome Dusty because she had a diagnosis of navicular syndrome in her hooves. No one wanted her. So their veterinarian recommended that if she couldn't go to a sanctuary or to a rescue, that she be euthanized. So fortunately in 2014, both of these families filled out applications to have their horses admitted to Spirit Keeper Equine Sanctuary, and our board voted to admit them. And since they've been here, they've been thriving. Obviously, now we have a definitive diagnosis for Mario. He's no longer having hoof issues and his weight looks great. I also want to mention that he no longer has any anxiety or nervousness about getting his hoofs worked on, and that is thanks to our fabulous farriers that have worked with him, Roxanne Crump and now Zach Sanger from Sanger Horseshoeing. So Mario's very calm and quiet and has no problem getting his hooves worked on now. And then Dusty, despite the diagnosis of navicular syndrome, has not been lame at all the whole entire 5 years that she's been at Spirit Keeper Equine Sanctuary. Both of these horses are dominant in their herd. They're the herd leaders. And if you hear that horse in the background whinnying, it's because we've removed them from their herd, and some of their subordinates are concerned that they're not out there with them. But again, because of Dusty's medical condition, she is going to be here for life. And again, they're 12 and 24 years old.
And unfortunately, the financial burden that was on the families that had to give them up lies on the sanctuary now. And times are hard and things are getting more and more expensive, especially medical care, hay, feed, and anything that these horses might need in the future.